Not Lindsay Lohan, not Mel Gibson, not even the BP oil spill. And the way Google Trends works is if you're in the top 10 or so, generally that's going to stay in there for a few days. We know Google's been censoring these. It's very elementary, and I went in and read there's algorithm rules in the last few days, and what we had already known about it was correct. They claim that, you will be searchable if you're in the top several thousand search terms. So there's no way that these 4 terms have gone to number 1 on Friday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Each day we launched a search term, the first being Obama deception, the second being Obama deception censored, the third being Google spies, and the next being Google launches cover-up of Google spies. We know they are erasing it because it goes to number 1, and other search terms that are number 1, number 2, number 5, number 10, number 15, they move back and forth all day. Our 4 search terms go to number 1 and then just completely disappear. And when you search those terms, it says no data to produce a graph. No searches found for this term. Now, that's impossible. You don't have something at the top of the search engine and then it's just not found. It doesn't go from number 1 to 0, not existing instantaneously. So it's just total fact, common sense that is indeed happening. As I saw some of the comments on the INFOWARS.com and PrisonPlanet.com story by Steve Watson yesterday about Google launches cover-up of Google spies story. I also noticed that it was in the top 10 2 days ago, the Washington Post story that was one of the major stories in the nation about the United States of spies and about how there's 850+ thousand highest-level private corporate spies that gives them unfair trade advantage, gives them control. They are literally taking over the government. That was disappeared. I noticed that was number 9. Our search was number 1 on Monday. And then I searched it a few hours later, and it said no search found, 0. So they're not just censoring Obama deception censored, Google spies, Google launches cover-up. I guess they could argue, well, you had people doing that, so we're saying it's not a real search. They haven't said that publicly, but I could see them doing that. But still, that's a form of censorship. But to say that the headline out of the Washington Post that was all over the national news and is all over the news today, to have that disappear without a trace, this is another window into how the establishment decides what it wants to be the top trends. They're not disappearing Lindsay Lohan. They're not disappearing Mel Gibson. They're not disappearing Vandersloot. They're not disappearing things like that. They are disappearing information that exposes the fact that Google and Oracle and others are deeply into the secret America. In fact, the term was the secret America. That was the term that they censored dealing with the Washington Post article. And here's some articles on it today. Here's one out of the Seattle Times. Top secret America, snoops in our suburbs. And it shows how all over the country they're building giant spy bases against the American people. And there's a bunch of other mainstream news articles that are dealing with that today, and we'll be covering some of that coming up after I take your phone calls. But false flag cyber attack could take down the internet. The Pentagon is telling us there's going to be a massive attack. They're going to have to shut the web off and change our access. And last Thursday, 73,000 blogs were taken down because one blog they claim was being used by Al-Qaeda. The feds have now, 5 days later, told us their reason, and that's in the news today. Kurt Nimmo wrote a story about it last night, linking to Reuters and others, where they say, oh, well, there was one blog on this website that Al-Qaeda was using. So we didn't call the website and say, please take that down, or we didn't take them to court, or we didn't show evidence. No, we just took a giant website with 73,000 blogs down. And so they will attack the internet. The mainstream media is dying. The government support with the people is dying. All the polls and numbers show that. The media, the dinosaur media, even admits they're in free fall and government's in free fall. And so the dinosaur media owned by the big global robber baron corporations that aren't free market, that are criminal, that make their money through looting and power and surveillance and espionage. I've been telling you, it's a global corporate takeover. Now you learn that there are hundreds of times more security clearances at the highest level for private corporate chiefs, 850,000+, than there are in the government. The government is now, I mean, here in Austin, foreign banks come in and the city council gets bought off and they pass $2.6 billion in energy increase taxes that are more than all the other taxes combined each year. And that now they're announcing they're going to seize all the major roads and put toll roads on it, and almost all the money is going to go to offshore corporations like Centra of Spain. That's exactly what happened 150+ years ago in China when 11 Western powers, France, the United States, England, the Netherlands, Germany, even Poland had an outpost, went in and divided up China and took it over. And it took them decades of corporate espionage to buy off local cities and regions, and they did it. And the Boxer Rebellion and other rebellions led to China finally getting its sovereignty back, but then it was still weak, so Japan came in decades later. Same with Korea. Eastern Russia was weak, so the Japanese invaded as well before World War II. So this is happening now. We were a free society. We were wide open. And corporations running intelligence operations. And the first intelligence agencies were not government. In the more modern era of the last 300 years in Europe, the Rothschilds and others on record had intelligence agencies bigger than British intelligence. And British intelligence itself, this is in mainline history, was modeled after the Rothschild intelligence networks. And so we have been conquered, and the banks are bankrupting us to bring us down to the level of third world serfs. And they don't want the people to be able to speak out and expose their banking takeover. That's why they erased the Obama deception, but the backlash caused them to put it back up, an unprecedented move. That's why they're moving and openly announcing they're going to start curtailing the web, because we are countering them, and they can't have us out there telling the truth during this process. And so today, this is the last time I'm going to do this, at least for a few weeks. I want to see the aftermath of it and gauge it. I want to analyze the data. It's very interesting. But it does show we're even more effective than we had previously gauged, which is a chilling prospect. Why me, God? Why? Why am I sitting in the middle of this platform that's so powerful? It's a chilling, adrenaline-fueled burden. When I consciously face the position we're in and the responsibility we have, I have an adrenaline rush. But today we're going to make this term number one, false flag cyber attack. False flag cyber attack, so that hundreds of other blogs and newspapers will then pick up on the story, as the last 4 term blitzes have done. And so we'll put it out there even more on record. But we know a false flag cyber attack is coming, to be blamed on foreign enemies or domestic hackers as a pretext to further curtail the web and bring it a step further on its journey towards being a instrument of control, not an instrument of enlightenment. So the search term today, folks, if you choose to accept this mission, is false flag cyber attack.
Fresh banner on the GCN website.
Yet your sinusitis is still a problem.
Are you waiting for your sinusitis to go away by itself?
Are you waiting for a SinoFresh discount?
Okay, here it comes.
But first,
and other products merely treat symptoms,
and not the cause of sinus problems.
And 37 million Americans suffer from sinus distress just like you. But now many are finding relief with the only patent-protected homeopathic nasal product that antiseptically eliminates the known causes of sinusitis. SinoFresh.
Now here's your limited time discount offer to use SinoFresh.
Call 888-906-3636 right now for $2 off per bottle when you mention GCN. That's it. Just call 888-906-3636 and mention GCN for a $2 discount.
But hurry, this offer is only for the first 1,000 customers.
Call 888-906-3636. 888-906-3636. Call right now for $2 off per bottle.
Mention GCN.
Buy SinoFresh.com. It works.
The economy is crumbling, debt soaring, and the possibility of World War III is increasing. I started SurvivalistSeeds.com from my dining room table with a small bucket of seed and a single rotating banner ad on PrisonPlanet.com. 2 years later, we've sold over 40,000 pounds of heirloom seeds, becoming the largest bulk seed seller to the public. The majority of our customers are Alex Jones listeners. Now I'm offering 50 all-organic garden varieties, 10,000 heirloom seeds, a garden planner, and a CD teaching you how to save seeds so your children's children will always have healthy food. Don't wait until it's too late. I'm Big John Lipscomb, and my company is